Hello. Thought I would take you through my mom's display that I put together before I take it down. Mom passed away November 12th, and so here we go. This is mom and dad, mother and father, Irene Sharalambi and Athanasios Antonoglu. This is mom when she was a little toddler tyke. Her father, my grandfather, was a virtuoso violin player, and mom was born in 1930. She explains the old photos. And down here, this is her one sister, Katina. And close up on some of these old photos. And she was very close to her sister through all her years. Stayed in touch, even though Sister Katina stayed in Rhodes, where my mom was born and raised in Greece. And then mom was very proud of her grades. So here's her high school report card down here. And then here's photos from her first marriage. And her first marriage story goes something like this. She got married young to an artist type in Rhodes that everybody said, he's crazy, don't do it, but she did it anyway. And one day, I don't know if they were on their honeymoon, but he said, you know what we should do, Mary? It'd be so romantic. We should get in a car and we should take the car and drive off a cliff. And it'll be so romantic. And she realized that maybe she made a mistake. And so she got it annulled with the Greek church. But because it's a small island, he wouldn't leave her alone. It was one of the reasons that she decided she needed to get out of there, come to America. So here's her plane ticket, 1932 or so, 62, sorry. She's about 32 years old. She went to Sacramento City College. There she is. And continued to get good grades even in English. By the time she came here, she spoke 4 languages. And she went to Sacramento State College. There's a photo of her there. And back then, they put your name in the paper. And she was very proud of her name being in all the papers for being on the honor roll. She met my dad, who was also a very academic, studious guy at Sacramento State. And they got married in 63, 64. Here is her in 1972. Yeah, she got she got her citizenship. That's what that is. There's photos of mom and dad doing a costume event. And so I'd been born in 1970. The next wall I've dedicated to myself. But this one, in 1972, I had a sister for a short period of time. She was born premature, about 2 or 3 months early. And so they didn't expect her to live, and she lived 24 days. And this is from her gravestone. It's in Ohio. Back up here. This is where I was born 1970. There I am. This is her Master of Library of Science that she got. She became a librarian. Here's photos from my childhood. It's the house I grew up in and they stayed in for most of their lives. And then here's some of the many letters mom wrote me after I broke her heart and left Connecticut for college and never went back. On this last panel, here's a retired life. Mom at my wedding. And then in retired life, they did a lot of traveling. They went around all over the place. Dad was a bridge instructor, and they used to go on cruises where he would teach bridge and they would cruise for free while he taught bridge on the ships. Here was what she did for 9 years. She worked at Zotos International, which they made hair care products, and she was the private librarian for the chemists there, and so all of her language skills and cataloging came into play with all of that. And finally down here, she learned to play bridge since Dad was a master, and so here's all of her notes on how to play bridge. She's very studious on everything she did. And then I miss it that there's a ton of notes on how to make sweaters, because she also made many sweaters. This is just a sample of some of the knitting she did later in life. And so there's a short synopsis. So Mom lived 95 years. She's very loving.